All right. I like these a lot.
I want some rest. Are we having fun yet?
All right, guys. So welcome back to Sundays with Clan, in which I just chill out, answer your questions, and yeah, nothing too crazy. But you guys gave me some really good feedback on this. I actually made the post only for YouTube members and Patreon members, and I just chose the ones that I found the most interesting. So we're gonna go through them, talk about it, and should be pretty fun. Now, if you are a YouTube member and you didn't see this post, just keep an eye out for it, okay? I do it every blue moon, in which I just ask randomly, hey, do you have any topics or questions you want me to discuss for the week? And just so happened I wanted to do this one for Sundays with Clan. So screw it, let's just go straight into it. So the first and foremost, I'm just gonna go through this one just because it's the easiest to answer. But it says, I would like to know how you became a Spurs fan. Origin story. Okay, all right, so here's my Joker story. It's not that big a deal at all. Actually, I became a Spurs fan because a lot of you guys know that I'm not from San Antonio. So I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee. I've been to San Antonio a few times. I really do like it in San Antonio. But yeah, I've been there a few times, and I went to a game, and saw the Spurs there. But other than that, like I'm not homegrown San Antonio by any means. Straight out of Memphis. So how did I become a Spurs fan? Well, actually, as I was about to say it right just now, I became a Manu Ginobili fan first and foremost. It actually started when I was a kid, in which funny enough, I talked about this in a video. So if you guys really want to know the origin, go watch Because of Manu, in which it's like a whole song that I did that's basically dedicated to Manu and how I became a Spurs fan. But long story short, my brother was actually a huge Lakers fan, and he just adored Kobe Bryant, okay? And me being, the younger brother, I like to annoy my brother. So when he was really into the Lakers and they would play the Spurs, he would get really frustrated when he watched them play Manu Ginobili. And on top of that, I actually played a game, I don't know which, it might have been 2K or maybe NBA Live, I don't know, it was a long time ago. It was when the Spurs won their second championship, I believe, maybe their third championship, in which, yeah, I chose the San Antonio Spurs because they had the highest rating, and I just kept knocking down shots with Manu Ginobili. So it's kind of a mixture of those things. I go into pretty good detail in this song, so please go watch it. It's Because of Manu. Literally, if you just type in YouTube Because of Manu, it'll pop up. And yeah, check it out. But yeah, it's in a little more depth. But overall, look, I became a Manu fan first and foremost. I mean, the way that he played, the amount of heart that he played with. I wasn't even a sports fan, but I loved Manu Ginobili. And he kind of introduced me to basketball, and he introduced me to the San Antonio Spurs. So yeah, all props to Manu. I literally cried at his retirement, by the way. So I don't know. Take that as you will. All right, okay. So that was the easy one. Let's go ahead and go into these. Now this one, Jason, my boy. I have not heard anyone bring this up or anyone say this at all. So I just found this pretty intriguing. All right, so with LeBron making it known he wants to play with Bronny, when the time comes, do we draft him if we can, and would we want them? So yes, if you guys haven't heard, LeBron James did say that he wanted to play with his son Bronny. He said his last season will be played with his son. I'm gonna be honest. All right, it's just I'll look through what he had to say. This is what, the direct quote from your boy LeBron James. My last year will be played with my son, he told The Atlantic. Wherever Bronny is at, that's where I'll be. I would do whatever it takes to play with my son for 1 year. It's not about the money at that point. I don't know. To me, no, because I just don't want to be part of that spectacle, man. I think it's a little silly. I understand why he wants to do it. Obviously, it's to boost his son's career. Like, that's amazing. His last game played like with his son, like that's great. That's a great story. But overall, I just think that it's kind of silly, and I wouldn't want a part of that. I don't want Bronny or LeBron James getting in the middle of what we have going on. Not to say that it would be bad, okay? It seems like Bronny's going to be a really good player. And obviously LeBron James, I mean, probably at the age of 50, he'll still be a good player. So overall, like, it's not that I think that them as players will get in the middle of it. It just feel like it will be a move that's more so tailored towards a franchise maybe like the Lakers, you know, like a franchise that can rebound pretty quickly from just having a spot there that leaves. Like, you just open up a spot for a player and then they just leave. It's caliber of LeBron James. I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's necessary. It also just seems like a big money move, honestly. Like, any team that would go after Bronny, it just seems like a big money move. And I'm assuming that Bronny at that point will be a pretty high pick. I don't even think that we would have the ability to do it, but no, it just doesn't seem like a good move, man. It seemed like something more so tailored for a bigger franchise, or, you know, just a franchise that can afford to do it. I don't want us to play around like that. At that point, Josh Primo will come into his own, Devin Vassell come into his own, Keldon Johnson come into his own, and they're trying to win a championship. And Bronny will probably, I mean, he's gonna have a lot of cameras on him, a lot of faces towards him, and I don't know if he'll be a superstar necessarily, but he is a really good player. But I don't know. It just seems like one of those huge gamble moves, you know? And I don't think it's necessary at all. But that's just me. I just don't want to be part of the spectacle. You guys, please let me know what you think, because that's actually a really interesting question. And I never really fleshed out my thoughts on it because it's not something that I even thought about. But, I mean, I guess it's a possibility, but I wouldn't do it. I just feel like it'll be a media storm that I do not care for. But that's just me. Let me know what you think. I really like that comment, by the way. All right, so this one, first and foremost, I was just gonna answer this last one. I guess you guys can see it, but Samuel Washington, you said one thing, and I'll just correct you on it really quick. You said, do you think Lonnie will be traded this offseason? I don't think, no. I mean, first and foremost, I think he'll be a restricted free agent, so we can kind of like match what other like teams give him. But as far as like trade, no, he wouldn't be traded. Who do you think had more potential, Lonnie Walker or Jonathan Simmons? Now, I do find that interesting. Overall, who's better, Lonnie Walker, Jonathan Simmons? I'm going with Lonnie, bro. Like, first and foremost, let me say this. I love some Jonathan Simmons, okay? I was huge on Jonathan Simmons. One thing about Jonathan Simmons, though, he does have, or at least with us, I felt like he kind of reached his ceiling as far as what type of player he was going to be. I believe that he wanted more playing time. He wanted to be in a better position with the Spurs, but I never felt like he would necessarily be like a star player or even a sidekick star player, like second or third option. Now, overall, how did I like his game? I think he played exceptionally hard. I think he thrived under the system. I think that his athleticism was amazing. And I think defensively, while I don't think that he was a good on-ball defender, he was an opportunist, man. He would take his opportunities, and he would make it work for him. So overall, I understand where that's coming from, because you see both players and you're like, well, they're both very athletic. But Lonnie Walker definitely has a higher upside than Jonathan Simmons. And the reason why I would say that is because I would say that Lonnie Walker is close to, if not better, than Jonathan Simmons was at his best season with us. So with that in mind, I mean, he is seriously young. Like, Lonnie Walker has a lot of room to grow. And he can do basically everything Jonathan Simmons could, but more. I think he's a better shooter, in my opinion. He just has a better overall game. But most importantly, I think Lonnie Walker is a better on-ball defender. I haven't looked at the stats on this, but just the eye test. I mean, I guess the eye test means nothing sometimes, but Jonathan Simmons was not a great on-ball defender. But Lonnie Walker this season in particular, I feel like he's been a very good on-ball defender. So I would take Lonnie over him. I think Lonnie has more of an upside. And honestly, Jonathan Simmons, he didn't necessarily thrive like crazy when he left us. So yeah, I would definitely say Lonnie Walker has a higher upside than Jonathan Simmons. But you guys let me know what you think. These were some really interesting questions, like especially the one on Bronny, man. Man, that's one to think about. I have not thought about that. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you guys so much for all the support that you give the channel. And if you guys want to be a YouTube member, a Patreon member, it's only $2 per month. I'm not trying to like take your wallet, okay? I'm not trying to take your paycheck, all right? It's only $2 per month, all right? I don't even know how much that is. Like, divide 31 days by 2 divided by 31, and that's however many pennies a day. I don't know how much. Guys, I'm tired. I had a long week. But yeah, anyways, I'll give it to you guys later, man. Thank you so much for the support and the love. Yeah, deuces.